has come to our attention that a recently sealed room has been compromised. The models in that room are from much earlier in Fazbear's history. Our present safety models do not apply to those animatronics.
We sure there aren't two Vixies?
Screw this, I'm done. This is getting way out of our control.
I don't think we ever were in control.
Did you or did you not enter the R&D room?
Why does it matter if we did?
Because if you did, it's our butts that are going to be handed to us, and not by management. There's something way more dangerous at hand.
So it really is true. All of this has been fake. Am I going crazy?
No, I hear something too.
Get out of here. He's coming back soon.
What?
Who's coming back?
Now, if you're around my age, a young adult, and you still grew up with Five Nights at Freddy's over the past 11 years, it's most likely that you didn't start watching people like Markiplier until later in your age, because let's be honest, although we might have snuck him a few times, how many of us were watching Markiplier when we were like 10 years old? But maybe I'm wrong, maybe you guys were just shitty kids who went against the will of your parents, but I personally was watching stuff like this.
A long corridor, dude.
It's another hallway, dude.
Why?
Okay, let's
Just
do this.
know something is gonna happen.
Now, watching these videos as a young adult, I have to say, were these videos good? Absolutely not. But as a 10-year-old Juffo, were they good? Absolutely yes. And hey, again, you could make fun of me and say, oh, you're one of those kids where loud equals funny, but again, we grew up watching SpongeBob, you know, that was the same shit. But if you clicked on this video, it's most likely that you still know about the series that I'm going to be talking about, which usually means that you are a pretty diehard fan, or at least were. And obviously, you saw the intro, you saw the title card. We are going to be covering My Nights at Freddy's by Caveman Films. Now, again, this was a nostalgic masterpiece rather than an actual masterpiece. I want them to be very different from one another. Because My Nights at Freddy's is special in the sense that it's able to capture something that a lot of these early year roleplay videos were not able to do, which was it is just as magical as an adult as it was when you were a child, but for two separate reasons. And to tackle the charm that this series had, what is a better way to do it than by going to the actual places that these people did their adventures on within these videos. So today, not only will I be covering the series of these videos, but I will be doing so whilst exploring the map that they portrayed their series with. So with all that being said, thank you for clicking on this video, and let's begin. Alright, we're here, boys, and you already know I'm rocking my authentic Caveman Films night guard outfit on. You can make fun of me for doing this, but at least I liked my childhood, and it's not my fault that you were getting hit with the metal end of a belt by your dad. But it actually was kind of a pain to get this, because you know, these mods are like 10 years old, so I had to download like 3 different versions of Minecraft to get every map. Regardless, is that what they sound like? Is that all the doors? Holy crap, dude, what the hell? This map is almost kind of like the FNAF Gmod map from way back in the day, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And it just has so much charm, and obviously it's definitely not as popular as that map was, but I mean, I don't know, there's just something about it that's just really irresistible. And as I walk around the map, there are just like scenes that I just remember being played out like throughout this entire building. Like I remember, you know, the scene where Caveman is sitting here and he's cleaning and he's making fun of Ant for thinking that these things were moving. You know, it was just a really good time.
Hey, Dan, what's up?
Oh, hey, Ant. Nothing much. I've just been cleaning with these scary animatronics in the room.
Dude, they came back? Like, what happened?
Yeah, we moved them back. They aren't that hard to move.
They have the meat hole. Holy crap. They have the freaking meat hole, dude.
No idea. Why is there a hole in the floor here?
I think that's like the blood hole for like if you're a butcher and you're cutting meat. So I'm really questioning why there's a hole that big. Like you can look, I can fit inside this. This is weird.
I don't know. Again, I don't know if they built this map for the series or if this map was already pre-made. Regardless, it's such a well-made map. This map, you know, we have the rules for safety.
But in case it is, you know, there's some rules for your safety.
Where you can't read anything. You know, we have the what was it, the peppermint patty.
And I think this is called peppermint patty, which is ironic because she's not a peppermint or a patty. She's a cupcake.
There are some changes that whoever, you know, redesigned the place made. Where, you know, if you go over here, you know, we have this room, which wasn't in the original series. If you remember, when they go into this room, it's just like a power grid, like for the building, even though it's just like 1 or 2 buttons.
Here's the thing. they're not making that much money here. And so at 9 p.m., they cut the phone lines. I know it's stupid. And they also, they turn off the breaker. So if the power goes off during that time, you kind of have to rely on like just the auxiliary power that goes on. We have a generator.
Oh shit, what the hell? No. I don't want to have blindness right now. I need to get to where I need to go. Did that turn off? Are we good? We're not good? Are we? Dude! Yo, that should not have... Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it ever again. Don't ever bring that up. Oh, let me change the command. You know, this is you know, where Dan would explain to Ant that this is how you know, if part of them breaks off during an unusual movement, this is just where we would replace the whole thing.
Mechanic or something?
Well, no, like if a part of it breaks off during some unusual movement or something, then we've got this to repair it.
Dude, I remember every single line, okay? And I did rewatch a lot of the series for this video, but again, I swear I knew the series beforehand. I mean, it was a huge... When I say that this series was a masterpiece, was it good? Not really. And watching it as an adult, I don't even think that it was scripted, but I think that, you know, because of scenes like this...
Oh my god.
Yeah, mine is... Oh god, fix the end file! Oh my goodness, okay, they're both...
Okay.
Oh.
Come on in.
Stop it,
Come on. Get in here, Dad! Get in here! Get in here!
I can't push it!
Oh my god. Are you quite having trouble? Oh, okay,
Yes.
and Bonnie's outside of that door.
Because although that's, you know, later in the series, that is like where the series is supposed to be getting higher in quality, and it seems like they were just having, you know, scenes where they wasn't even scripted, like that wasn't supposed to happen, but they still left it in. But I feel like it being unscripted, and when it comes to like the first couple episodes where they didn't know how to remove the name tags or anything, that's part of why it had so much charm. That's probably, you know, why it was so magical, because it felt like a lot more real. It didn't feel like some guy was trying to make some masterpiece of a Minecraft roleplay. It seemed like it was just a bunch of friends who wanted to just make something fun. So here's when I started getting into this series. This was my baby right here. For some reason, and I don't really know why, my render distance is kind of cooked when it comes to Lunar Client. Again, I don't know why. And you could say, oh, maybe your computer just sucks, or maybe, you know, it's because of the shaders. And I thought that for a moment too, but I'm able to run these maps completely fine on Minecraft Launcher. And it does the same thing when it comes to render distance when it comes to Lunar Client. So I think it might just be server issues, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's fine. We'll figure it out. If you see anything just like pop up all of a sudden, it's just because my render distance is kind of cooked. You're just gonna have to bear with me. So as you could probably notice, I did have to go through this map a little bit and change a few things, because I think that they had some sort of like specific furniture mod that gave them like the tables and chairs that they had within the series, and they just don't have this in like any of the maps that I downloaded. But you know, it's fine. It's just like tables. This season of Five Nights at Freddy's seemed to have been like the least amount of choreographed that I have ever seen. And you could say I'm wrong for that, because they did have specific actors, they did have specific scenes choreographed. But all in all, if you watch it back to back with FNAF 1, it seems like they were actually planning out scenes a lot more within the FNAF 1 Five Nights at Freddy's than they did in any of the other ones. Well, not really any of the other ones, you know, they definitely got better as the series went on. But it just seems like out of every single series, Five Nights at Factory was kind of like the least planned. And I think, again, as I said, I think it gives it part of that charm that it had, where it was just like friends doing like a fun project. And I think that this might have been the first map. I don't know if they built all of these maps for specific. I know that they built, you know, Fun Park and Fredbear's and everything. I know that they built that for the series, but I don't know if they built the FNAF 1 pizzeria for the first Five Nights at Freddy's. We have the the iconic "This department has worked 0 days without a lost time" incident.
This is a factory in here, or what are you doing?
Well, I'm talking about the sign.
This department has worked 0 days without a lost time incident? What?
Well, that is the thing. We recently had an incident yesterday. Was the first incident though since 1983, the main incident.
Oh,
but you guys have nothing to be worried about. Nothing to be worried about at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't I give you guys a tour?
Yeah,
All right, that
okay.
sounds-
This is where the receptionist would have stood in her, you know, I think she was like blonde or something like that, and they would have like, I think they like catcalled her for some reason.
Head receptionist, Doris. How you
Hi,
doing,
Doris.
Hey,
She's hot.
Doris.
She's hot. Hey, Doris.
Sure. Hey, that's
How you
my manager, boys.
Oh, sorry.
She's a little quiet.
Yeah, that's what I like about
She's
her.
nervous. She's nervous. You know?
And I know it's kind of like unnecessary to add these shaders, but I do think it's just like more appealing to the eyes. But I think it does kind of take away from like the actual colors of the map. So I'm actually gonna change these real quick. Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna stick to this because this is up. See my render distance? See how it's just cooking itself? I don't know why it does that. This would have been where I'm pretty sure Ant would have found either in this corner or that corner where he would have found, you know, the foxy covered in blood, and over here would have been where I believe he found the ear. I don't know which box it would have been, but I know it would have been within this area. Let me actually grab a torch here. So this is, yeah, there we go. This map is very important to my childhood. I used to sit here, and I'm not even joking. I say this now, you know, in the confidence of my own home, but I used to, again, this came out in like 2015, so I was like, I think like 8 years old. Yeah, about 8 years old. And I used to sit here and watch these, and I would pretend that I was like with them. Like I would pretend that I was like the third one in the group. I think I was just lonely. This room definitely has like my favorite scene out of all of them. I never really cared that much for Vixie. I think that, you know, they had the option to make her like super cool and everything, but when it comes to like how dramatic she looks with like the blood around the teeth and like the crazy eyes, they just tried to make her look as scary as possible, and I think it was just kind of unrealistic for what they were trying to go for. My favorite part of the entire freaking series, probably one of my favorite parts within Minus of Freddy's in general, is when Dan is sitting right here and they all come into the room and the lights are all off and Aunt tells Dan to basically shut the fuck up.
Can't see anything. Wait, okay. Yeah, I'm hiding behind the skeleton too. Turn off my flashlight. I don't think it. Oh my gosh.
Hey.
I can see Vinny and Bonnie.
Dan, quiet. Off the radio.
I hear something. Something's here.
It's not just something. All 5 of them are in here, dude.
Yes, is right.
This would be the break room. I know we already walked in here, but I think one of the first scenes within Minus of Freddy's, I'm trying to remember because it's been a while since I've watched it, is Dan being like, oh yeah, Skittles.
Oh yeah, Skittles.
Dude, how can you eat at a time like this?
And there's always time for Skittles.
Fair point.
This is where one of the freaking foremans would come in and yell. I'm pretty sure he was like British or Australian, and yell at them about coming into the R&D room.
Oi! Which one of you duffers went into the R&D room?
Who are you?
I'm the bleeding Queen of England. Who do you think I am?
Are you replacing the foreman?
Exactly. Your freaking foreman hasn't even showed up to work yet, so I've had to haul my buttocks over here to finish shipping the toy models.
Wait, what happened to the foreman?
He's probably gone and shut down the pressure. Can't say I blame him. Losing a worker like that. Enough about that. Did you or did you not enter the R&D room?
Why does it matter if we did?
Because if you did, it's our butts that are going to be handed to us. And not by management. There's something way more dangerous at hand.
Well, we might have gone inside.
So you did, you freaking idiots!
Hurtful.
We had that room locked up for a reason. Look, I've already done my job. There's nothing but incomplete models here now. I just wanted to warn you of what you unwittingly unleashed. Oh yeah, keep an eye on Vinny. I think he'll be okay as long as he doesn't get Vixie's attention. Tell your boss he's an idiot for hiring you.
I don't know why, but the scene that took place here where the foreman yells at like one of the instructors to like get back to work, you crazy buffoon. When I was like 10 years old, that made me bust a gut laughing for like no reason. All in all, I know there wasn't a lot to this video, but I did want to just get it out as a filler while I make my bigger videos that are coming up, and one of them being something that y'all have requested a lot as I made a community post about. But it's just been a while since I posted, so while I was working on those videos, I wanted to just get a little project out for you. And again, if this video does well, I will be making another part going over Fun Park and all the other maps. I have the shaders and everything. So I do want to do that eventually, but I'm also probably not going to do it if this video just flops. Which, again, you just never know when it comes to the YouTube algorithm. Regardless, my next videos will be worth the wait. You know, again, as I said, I wanted to make another filler video. But my next videos are going to be badass. I can promise you that. And there's another video that I have in mind about a certain YouTuber doing something kind of weird, and that also kind of bleeds into my next. I have a lot of projects coming up, so you don't want to miss them. But regardless, this channel has been still growing, you know, even with my inactivity, and that's super cool to see. I can't thank y'all enough for just the overwhelming support. But with all that being said, thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.